Hello and welcome to the very first episode of Adventures in Movies Reviews. Dot dot dot. So, for our very first episode ever, we will be reviewing a little movie called Butt Boy. Not sure if you've ever heard of it, but I'll read a little brief description of it. Butt Boy made its world premiere at the 2019 Fantastic Fest. The movie follows Chip Gutchell, who's an average man who develops a strange addiction. This leads to a deadly game of cat and mouse that is familiar and disgusting. So, where do we even begin with this movie?
I just want to say that's a good description of the movie.
I like how they classify it as an addiction.
Well, it is an addiction movie going with 420. We were a week off, but it's a strange addiction. It's an odd addiction, and I guess we should say right here that we'll avoid major spoilers. We will do our absolute best to avoid major spoilers, but we might accidentally let minor plot points slip out. So, based on the title of the movie, you might have guessed, but this person's addiction is he likes to stick things up his butt. And it is in fact an addiction. So I guess first off, we can start by saying that usually when we see something together, we're usually in the same wheelhouse. Like maybe one person will like it more than the other, or one person will dislike something, but we're usually kind of the same. This one, we got some different opinions on this one. So Danny, you had some very strong opinions about Butt Boy. Yeah, I'll let you get started.
Here's I guess a big spoiler for everybody. This is not a comedy. This is a true serious tone film, and I feel this is where my problem with the film is. If the tone of the film was a little slightly different, more comedic, I think I would have enjoyed it more. I do feel like the acting is a little bit ham-fisted for this kind of film. If this, again, was a comedic film, I think I would have enjoyed it. I think it would have been more unforgivable. I guess everything that we see is kind of unforgivable. At least to me, the acting is very, very cheesy, very, very bad, especially coming from the main lead. I don't know what his name, Cormac, something like that. Who also directed the movie. So I feel really bad because I can't remember his name. But I feel there's some things that are positive. Some shots are really well done. There was a really good edit, I think, towards the beginning of the movie, and then the third act. I feel if you're guessing throughout the movie, it does pay off. But overall, I did not enjoy this film whatsoever. I think for the 2 hours that we saw this for, I think it was a major waste of time for me. But yeah, I can't. The most positive things, because we saw it a couple of days ago, and then I just sat on it, and then I did try to find something good out of it. It's not a movie, I think, for me, and I think maybe it's somewhere up there with The Room or other
Wow, that's
that's pretty bad.
No, because I was gonna say it's like a cult film. So maybe a lot of people didn't like The Room, and where we knew that at least for me, I already knew it was going to be bad. I didn't think it was going to be The Room. I knew The Room was going to be bad. I didn't think this was going to be any kind of serious film, and that's what I guess we got.
So Blake, you were shaking your head a couple of times there. So
yeah. Well, I mean, to say that it's not a comedy, I disagree with because I was laughing from the get-go. I was it highbrow good comedy really in a way? I mean, no. But I mean, I did think the whole premise was funny, and the idea of a guy who loves to cram shit up his ass so much. Well, actually, it's much more supernatural than that. And
it is.
So it's so outlandish, and the plot is so ridiculous and preposterous that I found it humorous throughout the whole thing. And the performances were kind of weird. But I think that's a good reason to explain why I liked it. I think they were weird on purpose. And the cop, Tyler Rice, Detective Russell Fox. I thought his was so over the top, really extra, gritty detective, greasy. They say it, he's greasy, and they even make a point to point out how stereotypical he is. I thought that added to it. It was, I've been thinking about it a lot, and like bizarrely enough, I think the closest thing I can think of that I'm like, oh yeah, that's kind of what I think is Too Many Cooks. Remember Too Many Cooks? Yeah. It was kind of like that, but for an hour and 40 minutes, which is an incredibly long time to carry out that joke. And yeah, I can see, like, Danny hated it from the get. We all watched it together too, by the way.
Yeah.
Like we all via the dark power of the internet. And it was fun to see like how different we were all picturing it. And Pat, I think you're more on lines with what I was talking about, but I don't know.
Right. I was really surprised when Danny said like 20 minutes in, you were immediately like, direction's bad, this movie sucks. And I can't believe this is going on. I was like, wow, I mean, they're just building up here. And yeah, it's a one-note joke, but that in itself is the joke. And I'm not going to say I got it from the beginning. Like, I thought it was going to, but it's called Butt Boy. So you immediately think there's going to be all these puns and there's going to be toilet humor and, a lot of like, I'm going to get that from behind type of stuff. But it's serious the entire way through, which I thought was really impressive. Like, we're watching this and I'm like, well, I think when the credits started, it's like, I think this is a parody, but it's really like the cop is in his car and there's the music's really high powered and then the credits are rolling really fast. And at that point, it's like, okay, this is a joke, but there's no jokes in the movie at all. Like Chip he like longingly is looking at pieces of like toy pieces and remote controls and light bulbs, and
it's like a little I'm sorry piece, right?
An I'm sorry piece. And it's funny because
or sorry
it's not supposed to be funny, but that is where the joke is at. So it's one of those things like either you're gonna like it or you're not. And I think because it's not straightforward, like it doesn't have a punchline. There's no punchline. It's a guy who likes to stick things up his butt, and that's all there is to it. Like either you're gonna like that or you're not.
Right.
Yeah. And either you're gonna be in on the joke or you're not gonna be on the joke. But the fact that they play it serious, I think, takes it to another level. I think it made it that much better. I read a review from the Fantastic Fest people. The guy who wrote it compared the direction to David Fincher.
I see. So I could. Okay, so fine. Yeah. There's some parts that it does feel like Seven or what's the other one?
Alien 3.
Alien 3. No, I was gonna say something. What's the other one? A Girl with a Dragon Tattoo. Right. It's kind of like gritty. It has it, and some direction. I don't feel like I think if it was same premise, everything stays the same. Just I guess a little bit more. I don't know, like add a little bit more.
I think what you're wanting it. You witty. I think there's no wit in like toilet humor. There isn't. So I think what you're wanting is like it to be a straight up comedy, like the joke to be there. And I think if it does that, it takes the charm away from it.
But it was also kind of like Hobo with a Shotgun or like something like that. Like
Wolf Cop or something.
Way over the top on purpose. Like, yeah, and if that puts you off right away in any way, shape, or form, yeah, you're not gonna like this.
You're not gonna like it.
I going into this like cold was like very. That's this like not knowing anything about it. Like we're kind of like you're telling us like we're gonna watch this movie and it's Butt Boy, but it's not your typical movie.
Well, and when I saw the thing, I was like, it says action, sci-fi, thriller. Like, I don't know. And I was going to ask you, do you think maybe your expectations were high? Because you told us that you were very confident about the movie. And I actually was like, I don't know if I'm going to like this movie because I saw all the genres and comedy wasn't on there. So I was kind of worried about it.
And I think that's what the whole is like. You have the joke, I guess, on screen, Butt Boy, and you have everything else that doesn't
makes me laugh every time you say it.
It doesn't say a comedy, and you're giving us a thriller. You're like, all right, cool. And the way that the script, like the movie or the description you gave in the beginning, that's the fucking movie. It's just, if it was, I guess, like Too Many Cooks or something that's like out of Adult Swim, I feel it could have been a little bit better. But I feel like it's like something sub-level Adult Swim, maybe like.
I don't think it's that sub-level. Like, I think it's like right on par with that kind of shit. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like Dr. Steve Brule, that kind of shit. Like,
yeah, it seems really standard for that, actually. Like, I mean, it totally caught me off guard. It completely caught me off guard as to what it was. And because movies don't really surprise you that much anymore. And I'm not going to directly compare it to this movie, but so Parasite, I thought was like a horror movie, like going into it. Like, I thought it was going to be some weird horror movie, and it's nothing like that at all. Right. And that was part of the enjoyment of it. Now, this is nothing like Parasite. It's not in the same league or anything like that. But there was the same feeling of like, okay, I think this is going to be a comedy. And then it plays out. It's like, this isn't fun. I mean, it's funny. It's so hard to describe it. Like, it's funny.
Yeah, it's funny.
But it's supposed to be funny, but there's no jokes. Like,
right. Well, and so let me ask you guys real quick. Who is the butt boy? Is it? Now, and they give this away in the first 12 minutes of the movie before credits roll even. Is it the missing child from the park? Is that the butt boy? Or is he the butt boy? Or is there yet maybe even another butt boy?
You know, when that's funny that you say that, because I was thinking about how this silly movie, it makes you ask so many questions. Like, what's the difference between parody and satire?
Yeah, yeah.
Is it truly comedy if the aim is for people to not get it? Like, 'cause if people aren't laughing, is that comedy? And then, like, now you're asking a question: who truly is the butt boy?
This is some like John Cage, like some Daliism shit right here, or Daddyism.
Who'd have thought that a movie called Butt Boy, about a man who sticks things up his butt, including living creatures, would offer up so many questions?
Who knew, man?
Yeah, who knew? And to give you an answer, I think that was our titular hero in this, or anti-hero, actually.
Titular.
Yeah.
Titular.
What was I? Oh, so what did you guys? So we won't give away exactly what happened, but ending. What did you guys think? I thought it was hilarious.
I honestly liked the ending of, like, I'm saying the third act is like, I think, where everything starts to like come together, and honestly, I don't think any of us expected that kind of ending. Like,
I was thinking it could have gone in that direction somehow. I mean,
yeah.
Let's put it this way: it was getting full.
The funny thing is that, like, at that point in the movie, it's been so serious, and the conclusion, it's kind of silly. It's very silly and over the top. So,
yeah,
for me, it came out of nowhere, because I was expecting some, real serious escape type thing, but but
they play it serious. They continue even in that moment.
Like,
they play it straight through, which is, like, I think, commendable.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree with you. It's like, the performances are, it's subjective whether you're gonna like it or not. It's gonna be so polarizing. It might be the most polarizing movie of this year.
Yeah.
But
so far, it's the only one.
Yeah. But as for what they did, like, carrying that childish joke for as long as they did, and I thought they did an excellent job of doing that. It's amazing. It's really nothing short of amazing to me. Whether you like it or not, that's something else entirely.
Yeah.
And so this is out now. As of this recording, it's available.
It's out now. Now, it's in limited theater. I don't know what theaters are still open or how many people can go, but it is out on video on demand right now. It's on iTunes. It's on Google. I believe it's on Amazon right now. So go to your local streaming provider. There's so many of them right now, and everyone is taking advantage of all of them. Definitely check it out. It's worth seeing. Like, right now, you're in quarantine. You want to see something that's out there, something totally unique and different. This is it. Can't guarantee that you'll like it, but you won't see anything like it. Like, also make sure to check out our podcast, Adventures in Movies. This week, Danny's birthday. He had passed on some movie trivia for us. We also talked about Close Encounters of not the first, second, third, or even fourth kind. 5th level.
It was a 5th kind. 5th. I'm doing 10.
5th.
I'm also doing DD.
Also, DDP yoga.
Yeah.
I was going to say Rockefeller. Thank you very much, and we'll see you later.
Adios, everybody.